So here we are in the garage with the inlet manifold. Now I think in other videos you've probably seen the amount of oil that came out of it already. The tray that is sitting at the moment, I cleaned all that out and left the manifold sitting for the last, I don't know, 2 or 3 days upside down as it is now, and you can see how much more oil has come out of this. So I don't think that's right. I think that's a problem with the problem with the breather system we've got. That's been either pressurising the system and forcing the oil into the inlet manifold, or the opposite way, it's just been sucking it in. But anyway, I don't think it's right. So what we're going to do today is we're going to split the inlet manifold along here. There's a few bolts around the outside there. Now I'd like to point out that this isn't really advisable if you haven't got some gasket sealant stuff handy, because Vauxhall don't actually do the gasket that goes in here. I'm not 100% certain if there is a gasket or if it is just sealant, but I've seen a couple of bits of information on a few forums, and the guys recommended a particular sealant which we'll have a look at later. I haven't actually got that here yet. It should be delivered tomorrow, but like I say, Vauxhall don't do a service kit, or Opal if you're in Europe, don't do a service kit for this inlet manifold, so you have to buy the complete thing. So anyway, we're going to split it open because inside here are some baffles. You can't really see them now, but we'll have a better look at them when we get it apart. And I'm hoping that that's going to be the cause of the rattle, of the ticking noise. These baffles are also sort of glued in place. They're held in with a couple of screws, glued in with some sealant. And the sealant over time becomes weak, especially if you've used carburetor cleaner. I've got some here that we're going to use to clean the inside out, and I believe it gets the sealant off. But if you've run this carburetor cleaner stuff through the intake manifold, it can destroy the sealant, and it causes the baffles to rattle, and they sound just like sort of rattling tappets. Now we know the tappets on our engine are okay, because we've checked all the gaps and they're well within tolerance. So fingers crossed, this could be a cheap, I won't say easy fix, but quite a cheap fix. Won't know how easy it is until we get inside this manifold. So I'd just like to point out that there is some gubbins there, valves and intake pipework and bracketry that was bolted on that end of the manifold. So I've taken them off already. It's a good idea to take a photograph of these things. I've already done that, and obviously I've got quite a lot of video footage of what we're doing. So I'd recommend, everyone's got a smartphone nowadays, or a phone that's pretty much, all of them have got a camera on. So you can take some decent quality pictures, and it just aids when you put it back together, just makes life so much easier. You can reference a photograph and see where everything went. I've since noticed, if we can get the camera around here, that there is a sensor. Drop it on the floor. There is a sensor just there that's also got to come off. Don't want to damage that. I'm not sure if it's a sensor or a solenoid, but we'll have a look and see what that is. I think it's probably a vacuum sensor or something, because this pipe here is the vacuum connection for the brake servo. So anyway, I'm going to clean this tray out, and then we'll be right back and we'll start taking this manifold apart. Right, so here we are with the manifold. I'm going to start by stripping the remaining few bits and pieces off of it. So this bracket here should have had a bolt go through there, and it mounts on the back of the engine block. Now that was missing when I took it off, which leads me to believe that this has probably been off before. I don't know why it would have been off other than to change it. But anyway, let's see if we can get this bracket off, start taking things apart. So it's just another one of our favourite torque screws. Oh, it's really quite loose. Another one of our lovely little torque screws in here. Just get that off, and it's makes life a little bit easier, makes things a little bit nicer to handle. It's quite a long bolt. Another little tip is probably just to put the screws back in the holes they came out of. You don't lose them then, you know where they are. And then we said we've got this other little sensor sensor actuator, whatever it is on there, held in with a little clip, and another Torx bolt. Let's have a look. I think that's probably that one there. So yeah, that's just our favourite little where are we, E10. Can you see that there? An E10 Torx bit. Go straight on the half-inch ratchet. Again, not very tight. Don't know whether it's just not tight because it's in an aluminium casting, so you won't want them in there too tight, or whether these things have been off before. But who knows? All we know is they've got to come off. So I'm guessing that just pulls out of there. It does. Right, so that's obviously a pressure or a vacuum sensor. It's got rather a lot of oil in it, so I don't know whether that's good or bad. Well, certainly not good, but I don't know whether it's done any harm, any damage. So it's got a little rubber seal on it, and it just pushes into a little hole there. Right, with that off, I think we need to try and start getting these manifold bolts out. So if we just turn that round so you can see, I think there's about 8. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, I think it's on 5, 6, 7, 8. So again, that looks like a Torx bit. What size it is? It's not that one, that's too big. So let's have a look, see what we've got. Could be that one. Looks about right. So I'll swap them over. And we'll put the extension bar on just to, it's easier to reach down here and have the ratchet on the end of that. Now, just a little tip I'm at it, you notice I'm wearing gloves. Doesn't make me a wuss or anything. I'm not scared of getting my hands dirty, but we've got oil, potentially might be petrol in here. We're going to be using various degreasers. I've got a little cleaning machine that I bought yesterday, a little cleaning bath, which we're going to have some degreaser in. So it's just better. I've got a little cut on the top of my hand. I actually cut it putting the degreasing machine together yesterday. Just a little graze, but you don't want all this crap in your hands and in your cuts. So it's always better. I think I've got this pack of gloves off of good old Amazon. There's 100 in there. I think it's about £9. And these are heavy duty ones for garage mechanics. They've got a little bit of a grip thing going on there. And they don't split. I've had some cheaper ones and they just split. As soon as you touch anything, they fall to bits. But these, touch wood, seem to be holding up so far. So let's see if we can get some of these bolts out. I don't know what that is in there. That to me looks like the foam stuff, the expanding foam that you use for sealing holes in brick walls and cavities. I mean, you might have missed it on the camera, just in there. That's just what it looks like with a bit of dirt on top of it. So God knows what's going on there. Hoping there's not a crack or something in it. If there is, it might be a quick search on good old eBay or a trip to the local breakers and see what we can pick up. But unfortunately, breakers yards are becoming a bit few and far between now. When I was first started driving and messing with cars, you could just go and walk around and take your parts off, whatever you wanted. But unfortunately now that doesn't tend to happen. So good news is all those bolts are the same length, which is a result. I'm just going to have a quick look round and make sure we've got them all out, which we have. So now we need to separate these two halves. Oh, well, that's come apart very, very easily. Didn't expect it to come apart that easy. So that would suggest there's no seal on there at all. Wow, that is impressive. So, you can see the amount of oil inside there. That is just a mess. And this half isn't a lot better. So, the baffles that we're talking about is this bit here. Now, that doesn't seem very loose. But then you don't know what it's doing with the pressure of the engine. Let's put that half to there. So the thing is, there is a rubber seal in there, and that doesn't look in too bad a condition. I don't know whether we can do anything with that or not. That is a bit rattly. No, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just my imagination. So I hope to see something really loose there. But anyway, what I've been told, or what I've read, is you take these two bolts out, and these are really difficult to get out. And if they're really difficult to get out, it means they're still stuck in. If they fall out, like the one that the guy had on the forum I was looking at, then it's a pretty good chance that the seals have gone in there. But yeah, so far a little bit disappointing. I think what we'll do now is we might get this parts washer out. I'm going to wipe the worst of it out. Or shall I take it apart? Now, let's take it apart. Let's get the worst of it out first. Get the worst of this oil out. You can see the amount of oil. I don't think any inlet manifold should have that amount of oil and crap in it, to be perfectly honest. You don't want dirt and crap and oil going in there, because that's going to make your engine smoke. And it ain't going to do your catalyst much good, your catalytic converter. So, whatever, that shouldn't have that much oil in it. So it's a good idea we got it apart, and we're going to clean it up. We'll have a look at that seal. It might well, it's proud all the way round. It's proud all the way round there. Is it damaged there? And it came apart so easily. It's not stuck or anything. I might just put that together with that and not reseal that. Something in that hole I'm just trying to pick out. I don't know what it is. The sealant. Anyway, I'm dying to get these little bolts out. So what have we got here? Little Torx bolts again. Where's our other little Torx things? At the end of the ratchet. Is it the same size? It is. Look at that. So let's see if we can shift them. Yeah, that's all done quite nicely. So this one, the pictures I've seen that the guy online had taken, was the one that was really stuck in. And he said he had to lever it out. It was dodgy to get it out. Well, I don't want to know my luck with levering on stuff. I'll break it. But a bit like this bolt that's refusing to shift. No, that's it. It's coming out. So I'll show you in a minute where he levered it. We might have to do the same. Hands are getting slippery now. Again, just check these bolts are the same that come out of here, because there's two more in this half as well. So let's see. Yeah, they're identical. Well, they seem pretty well stuck in there. Don't know whether it's worth forcing. What he did is here and here, he arrowed it on his photograph, and that's where he actually levered it to get that out. Now, I'm guessing that this bit the whole thing slides out. So I'm guessing it slides out there and there. So this is all part of this. These two pieces here are all part of this. But we'll see. Let's get the screws out the other half, get the other half wiped out. As I say, we'll try the little parts washer on this in a minute and give it a good clean out. But they seem pretty well stuck in there. Actually, just for argument's sake, let's grab a couple of screwdrivers. Just give it a little, not going to give it much, just don't want to crack the castings or anything, but I mean that to me seems pretty well stuck in there. I wouldn't want to lever on these castings too much because you could easily crack that off and then you're buggered. It's a new one. So put that one to one side for a minute. Let's have a look at this one. Again, full of oil and mess, and these are good things to have as well. I've got a roll of these. I bought a couple of these. You can get them from Halfords. A couple of rolls of paper towel. They're quite strong, don't tend to tear, quite absorbent, so they're worth having. Just to wipe stuff down with. And we'll just get the worst of it off. So I'll put it in the parts cleaner. Now obviously this surface here, you can see it's a little bit knackered there. This is the gasket that came off of that. I'm guessing it went on somewhere like that. So that's the gasket between the manifold and the fuel injection rails. Now you can see that's a bit corroded on there and there's some muck on here. We need to get this nice and clean to ensure we get a good seal when we put it back. But obviously we'll scrape that, get that mess off, I think. Could that have gone on that way or that way? I don't know, but it looks like that is the paint off of the, probably off of here. But it's knackered. New one of them on order as well. In fact, I've got a few of the bits off of good old eBay, and I've done the click and collect thing to make sure they don't get left outside my house and stolen or anything. So actually in Argos as we speak, but that's up near where my partner lives, and I'm going round hers tomorrow night anyway, so I'm collecting them on the way. I've decided not to go and get them tonight. I'd rather come straight home and crack on with this and see what we can find. So I'm hoping that this one is loose when we get it out. So again, check the screws. That one is actually the same as the one that came out the other half, so I'm guessing this one's going to be as well, which it is. So we can keep them in one little separate pile. So that seems pretty well stuck in there too. So the question is, what do we do? Do we force those out and reseal them to be on the safe side, or do we leave them in? It's a difficult one. There's definitely a rattle. It's not coming from the tappets, and I'm convinced it's not coming from the tappets. I suppose it could just be the fact that we've got that problem with the breather system. Oh, I don't know though. There's some movement in that one, I'm sure there is. That one's loose, definitely. It's not loose, but I don't know if you can see that just here. When I do that, there's some definite movement in it. Well, that's quite good actually. I'm quite happy about that, because I'm wondering whether, if that's the cause of the tapping. I know it's difficult to believe that that little bit of movement might be causing that to go clack, 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 that clattering noise that we heard on previous videos. However, you've got to think this is under immense pressure with the engine sucking air in and out, and you know, the power of an engine sucking and blowing into this thing. So it could well be. I think it's worth trying to get this one out, because I think it's going to come out a lot easier. But that is loose. That is really loose. The movement on that, you watch. Look, I don't know if you can see that there. Let's tip that there. I don't know if you can see it that there, but if I do that, that's moving. And here, it's all split down here. In fact, here it comes. Look at that, look. That could well be our problem, because this guy was adamant that he resealed his and he's cured all problems. So I'm just being very careful with this, because I don't want to break anything or really scratch any of these surfaces if I can help it. Don't like big bangs like that. Look at that. That's coming out so much easier than that other one ever thought out. It's still quite stuck here somewhere. What's going on? There's not a bolt or anything in there, is there? No. There's no bolt in there. There we go. I would say that could have been could be the cause of our problem. Get that in a better shot for you. So that's the baffle. So as you can see, that's that in there, that way up. And basically, what happens is it sucks the air in, obviously, through these holes, and this guides it down into each cylinder. So there's one of these for each cylinder. Like I said, when that's bolted on the engine like that, there's another rubbish camera work here. Like that, there's another slot, another manifold here with the fuel injectors in, which is where the fuel is squirted in here. So by then all the air swirling around. So that's come out really, really easy. So we won't clean that for now. Let's have a look at the other one, because I think that one is really stuck in. But we might want to get it out without smashing it. So just no good on that. Right, I think what the plan is, is we'll leave this half for now. We'll get this half cleaned up. What I want to do is make a note, because I think this is sealed. So there was sealer in here. You can see it there. So we need to make a note of where that sealer is there. It's almost like a rubber gasket, but it's not. And obviously it was sealed here on these edges here. And that's where that lies in that groove. So it's there and there. So it's up, basically up all those lines is sealant. That's where it was sealed before. So apparently carb cleaner breaks that sealant down. So we'll try some of that, see if we can get it off. But anyway, I'm going to leave you for a minute, get the parts cleaner over here, and we'll give it a try, because it's my new toy. Catch you later.